friends. Welcome to Minds of Aspirants. I thought of making, videos based on something that I have read and which you might like and which might be suitable for civil services preparation. I am going to start a channel especially for books. So anybody who likes to read books, you can join that channel. So it will be a discussion where we can talk about, the different types of books that each of us read. I can share in that. I think I'll make that in a Tamil, so I'll use Tamil in that video. But I thought of sharing some interesting things from the books that I read, which might be useful for the syllabus in this Minds of Aspirants channel. First thing, so I'll start. So I thought of making many other topics. The first point that I thought of making is bureaucracy, because this is an examination for bureaucracy. So where does this concept of bureaucracy come from? And predominantly, this concept I'm taking from this book called as, Origin of Political Orders by Francis Fukuyama. I'll make a detailed view of this book in the channel of, as I said, MOA books that I'm going to start very soon. But that will be in Tamil. But here, I wanted to talk about this book. Anybody who's a political science option or anyone with an interest in political science, do look at his channel. Francis Fukuyama is one of the most important person that actually changed the way I looked at this exam, or I looked at the way these whole concepts were there. I used to think that we have to read only the selected points that are given to us in order to understand something. But Francis Fukuyama is someone you can have his details in YouTube. He has a separate channel as well. He actually helped me understand the meaning of the whole thing. So where does this concept come? So I'm see also there is a concept, or there is a question in sociology. This is the point. The books that I read, I'm going to connect it with whatever questions that UPSC is asking. There is a question on, is Weber's idea of bureaucracy a product of historical experience of Europe? Comment. It's a question on how they are asking if Weber was influenced by the events which were happening in Europe. Definitely, he was influenced. But he was also, comparative analysis was one of the methodology that he adopted. So, what could be the other events that might have influenced Weber is what I'm going to explore in this. See, whether he was influenced or not, that's a different point. But I'm just thinking that he might be influenced in other perspectives also. You can think about it. Firstly, you should know the basic things that he say. No, Weber talks about hierarchy, rule-based, specialist. So the qualities that he's talking about bureaucracy, you can list it down in 6, 7 points. As I said, hierarchy, rule-based, specialist, impersonality, efficiency, and merit-based. So these are all the key points that he has said, which you have to write in an answer as well. But I wanted to explore this fact of how could somebody have thought about bureaucracy in the first place. For this, I'm going to think about this anthropology as an idea. First, we were in a small band. You can think about it. Band means 50 odd people, 50 to 150 people. And then it becomes a tribe. So tribe is a higher dimension of an organization. The third is the chieftain. So if you see, the prior to these chieftain, you will have band and a tribe where you will have different people, but they would all be aligned together in the form of a kinship. That is, both anyone who is there existing in that band or a tribe would be related to each other. But once it comes to the chieftain, it's going to have people from different places organizing themselves in form of a community. So they would obviously need activities which have to be done outside their private life. And that is where the need of a bureaucracy might have arisen. And as I said, Origin of Political Order by Francis Fukuyama and many other books, which I am going to use as an answer, they give this idea that this bureaucracy started around this time of Mesopotamia. Okay, so Mesopotamia is the start of the chiefdom and things like that. There is an Hammurabi code where it's a legal code. But bureaucracy, as per se, started with this objective of managing the people from different places and organizing them. That is the key point. Organizing them. For organization, you need to write, and that is where the writing begins. So, primarily, if we are asked to write this exam, do not think too much because bureaucracy started for keeping. That is the point. So you and I, aspiring to become civil servants, are in the terms of the origin of bureaucracy, are account keepers. That's why we are called as collectors, right? So that is a British version. But this is the point. And definitely Weber would have looked at this. The question you check it again, is Weber's idea of bureaucracy a product of historical experience of Europe? Exactly. But whether he was influenced by other things, you make a choice of that. But now think about, so this is the origin. Now we need to know what is this concept of um, writing an exam. Like you and I write this UPSC exam, right? Where did this examination start? Uh, Again, Mesopotamia, there were bureaucracy, but the choice of bureaucracy was in the hands of the kings. So the kings may appoint somebody. The work started. But what kind of an examination you and I do is that the people who are in the executive, that is political executive, they don't choose the bureaucrats. The bureaucracy is chosen by a merit-based examination, right? That is the UPSC examination. Why this purpose started is that this is the second angle that you have to see. First, the origin. The second angle you see, this started in China in 200 odd BC. You might have heard about this Chinese wall, right? This Chinese wall was built by a kingdom called as Qin dynasty. In Qin dynasty, what is a Qin dynasty? Uh, if you go back to Indian history, you will have what is called as the Mahajanapadas. Before Mahajanapadas, maybe Vedic age was there, so there might have been so many, tribes. They would have been congregating each other or congregating at one location. Then they might have fought with each other. Then they might have given rise to this Mahajanapadas. Then Mahajanapadas giving rise to kingdoms like Magadha. And then you had the Mauryas. If you very closely watch, these kingdoms may have been very, very small and fighting amongst each other. Then they would have increased in size, which is called as the Mahajanapadas, which was 16 odd number. That is higher number fighting together. Then they blend together into a higher 16 in number. Then it becomes Maurya. So one kingdom comes. This pattern is actually similar in China also. This is well explained by Fukuyama in his book Origins of Political Order, extraordinarily written. That is where I understood that the origin of each of the civilization may have been uh, they would have taken different times, but they are having a lot of similarities. This origin that we spoke about in India actually exactly is there in China. They are called as the warring states, and the warring there is a warring states period, and there is a period before that, and they fight amongst each other like how the Mahajanapadas fight amongst each other. And you had the Mauryas here, right? There you have the Qin dynasty. The Qin dynasty, once they start forming this kingdom, this is where here India had this advantage of the Himalayas as the very geographical barrier. You have a barrier where the only through a small pass or something that the people can come. But China had this, did not have a very large extent of mountains or something. You can check the map, you will have what is called as uh, the desert will be there. Okay. The desert which is there in China, which is in the north western part, after that, if you see Mongolia and other places, you will have a lot of tribal areas. They could actually come in. And in order to prevent that, the Chinese wall was done. And hence, you had this concept of building all these things by a merit based, selection based bureaucracy. Because before this, the fighting was there. Fighting was amongst this kingship based people, right? And hence, they had this not so efficient bureaucracy, which resulted in a inefficient administration, inefficient fighting. So the China or the people in China comes up with this efficient concept of a merit-based examination. So the examination that you and I are writing is a merit-based examination where we are selected based on the things that we do or write. This concept comes from China. This is the point of origin of a merit-based bureaucracy. You can look at the 7 points that I said: hierarchy, rule-based, specialist, impersonality, efficiency, merit-based. Yes, things which happened in Germany influenced Weber, but this also would have influence. The second point that so the second and the last point, this is another example. This is one example. Another example is the Mamluk system. The Mamluk system is actually also merit-based, hierarchy-based, specialist or efficiency-based people. Where does this system originate? For this system, you have to come towards the West Asia. This we saw in East Asia. Now you have to come to the West Asia. West Asia is where you had this origin of Islamic kingdoms, Shia, Sunnis. I'll make a separate video on the distinction between Shias and Sunnis and how this is related to the current politics or what is the origin of Shia Sunnis. It's a story when of a dispute between the people who were there in that time forming the religion is what is the difference between Shias and Sunnis. We'll see that in a separate video. Once that was formed, conflict between Shias and Sunnis happened, but it was the Sunnis who took the took the religion to an expansionary form or an imperialistic form. In that, there was first there was Sunni kingdoms. You had a kingdom called as Umayyad kingdom, then Abbasid kingdom. You will have that. You will have this concept of an Abbasid kingdom. Same way as I told you, right? China, they started thinking about a merit-based bureaucracy. Why? Because inefficiency resulted in a lot of fighting, and they could not make win over the war. This drove the Abbasid kingdom into finding the system called as a Mamluk system. This Mamluk system is very simple. This is a system where the Islamic kingdoms, they will be there in Persia or the current day Iran, Iraq, and these places, and they would go in search of tribes for recruitment. And these were the regions of Central Asia today, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, all these places which are there in the top. They will go there and they will recruit the people and they will bring them to their war, and they will train them, give them the position that they need. And it will be merit based. The person who is actually having the efficiency would be given the order in which they grow, which happens today in bureaucracy that in India we do. It is not based on a kinship. It is not based on who you know, what you know, whether you know that person, whether he is a son of this person or a daughter of that person. No, it is a merit-based examination that we write, and then we grow up into the hierarchy. This is some system, which is the Marvelous system. This is the system which was, further enhanced to become what is called as the slave system. And this slave system is what? then comes into India, and slave dynasty is established. Muhammad Ghazni and Ghori, they come up, and they are people who have descended from this Abbasid dynasty, right? So that is in the Persia, right? So they would have automatically bestowed with the important institutional innovations which had happened earlier. And this Mamluk system was one such system. And this similar system was in the Ottoman Empire as well. Maybe I'll make that how they actually they'll go in search of Islamic kingdom. Ottoman Empire is an Islamic kingdom. They go in search of recruitment in the Baltic states. Okay, so the press or the Yugoslavia, today Slovenia, Slovakia, Croatia, Herzegovina, all these places, Serbia, all these places, they go there for the recruitment of Christian boys. So it's a very complicated history. Is not a very straightforward thing. History is very complicated. I will try to make more such videos on history, which I really like. These are information which I liked because the boys who were chosen from a Christian community actually would be given position in the Ottoman Empire to grow. And this resulted in the diverse culture and ethnicity in the Ottoman Empire. And that's why, after World War One, when the Ottoman Empire disintegrates, it becomes Yugoslavia, the region that told you, Slovenia, Slovakia, all these things becomes Yugoslavia. And when the person who was responsible for integration, that is Tito, the commander Tito, when he dies, Yugoslavia disintegrates into different ethnicity. This is where I think India, we have diverged. We are also a multi-diverse country, and we are able to be a single country in spite of all the differences. And I feel that it is one of the reason is because of what Weber said, the bureaucracy, okay, the steel framework, which is given to us by our founding fathers. And this bureaucracy is what you and I want to be aspiring to. We are writing this exam for that, and this is a thing that should inspire you. So the answer for that question, I'll come back, is Weber's idea of a bureaucracy, a product of historical experience of Europe. You write Germany and the other things that you have read, but you can look into these features also. This is one thing that I understood from history. History is not very simple. History is complex, diverse, but history gives us answers. I can make, I'll make more such videos. I would like to make more such videos on the topics that I have read, which I found out interesting, which like this Mamluk system or the Qin dynasty or the Qin dynasty then becomes the Han dynasty. The written exam, comes after. So I think I would not have mentioned Han Dynasty. So Qin Dynasty, it was after Qin Dynasty. Quinn actually came up with this concept of bureaucracy, but in order to have a personalized exam, it was Han Dynasty, which you please add it. So I have added it in the end of the video. So I thought of saying that Han Dynasty. I did not say. Han is the next dynasty which came, and that gave rise to so many different contributions of people for the welfare of the world. So you can put in any other concepts that you want me to make in history. I will do that. I'll also make more such videos on history, which I really like. And I'm going to start a channel on book reading, especially for books. I'll make Fukuyama's book in a very detailed way. The book which I referred is one of the most important books that I have read, and I'll make videos on that. Hope you like this video. You can share this video to anyone. So this is especially for this was a question on sociology, so I discussed it. Anyone who is writing sociology, you can send it to them. Anyone who likes history also, please send it to them. Please like and share to like and share, subscribe to Minds of Aspirants. Thank you.